Captain Jake Morrison sat in his command chair, watching the stars through the front window of his ship. The Liberty's Edge was a cargo vessel, nothing special to look at. It had been 3 weeks since they left Earth with supplies for the mining colony on Kepler 442b. The journey was almost over. "Captain, we should reach the station in about 6 hours," said Tony Blake from his navigator's seat. He was a thin man with dark hair and tired eyes. Like the rest of the crew, he had been working long shifts to get this cargo delivered on time. Jake nodded. "Good. I'll be glad to get this load off our hands and head home." He stretched in his chair and looked around the small bridge. His ship wasn't much, but it was his. He had bought it with his savings 5 years ago and had been running cargo ever since. Lisa Rodriguez looked up from her engineering station. She was a smart woman in her 30s, with grease under her fingernails and a tool belt around her waist. "Captain, the engines are running smooth. No problems to report. Thanks, Lisa." Jake had hired her 2 years ago when his old engineer quit. She was the best engineer he had ever worked with. She could fix anything and make it run better than before. Amy Carter sat at the communications desk, listening to the radio traffic from nearby ships. She was young, maybe 25, with short blonde hair and quick hands. She had joined the crew last year and was good at her job. "Captain, I'm picking up some chatter from the mining station. Sounds like they're having supply problems." "That's why we're here," Jake said with a smile. "They need what we're carrying." The Liberty's Edge was not a big ship. It had a small crew of 4 people and could carry about 200 tons of cargo. It was old but well maintained. Jake took care of his ship because it was his life. Without it, he would have nothing. The ship flew through empty space, far from any planets or stations. This was the outer edge of human territory, where few ships traveled. It was quiet and peaceful, just the way Jake liked it. "Captain," Amy said suddenly, her voice sharp, "I'm picking up 3 ships on long-range sensors. They're coming this way fast." Jake sat up straight. "How fast?" "Much faster than any cargo ship. These look like military vessels." Tony checked his navigation screens. "They're not human ships, Captain. The engine signatures don't match anything in our database." Jake felt his stomach tighten. Alien ships in human space usually meant trouble. "Can you tell what kind of aliens?" Amy worked at her controls, trying to get more information. "The computer says they might be Vextar ships. 3 of them, all armed." Everyone on the bridge went quiet. The Vextar were known throughout human space as raiders and slavers. They attacked cargo ships, stole everything valuable, and took the crews as slaves. No one wanted to meet them in empty space. "How long until they reach us?" Jake asked. "About 10 minutes at their current speed," Tony said. His voice was steady, but Jake could hear the fear underneath. Lisa looked up from her station. "Captain, should I try to get more power from the engines? Maybe we can outrun them." Jake shook his head. "A cargo ship can't outrun military vessels. We'd just waste fuel trying." "What do we do then?" Amy asked. Her hands were shaking as she worked at her controls. Jake thought for a moment. The Liberty's Edge was alone in empty space, with 3 alien warships closing in. They had no weapons that could fight military ships. They had nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. "We wait," he said finally. "Maybe they'll just want our cargo, and if they want more than that?" Lisa asked. Jake didn't answer. Everyone knew what the Vextar did to human crews. They had all heard the stories. The 3 alien ships appeared on the main screen as small dots of light. They were still far away, but getting closer every second. Jake could see that they were much larger than his cargo ship. Each one, probably, had enough firepower to destroy the Liberty's Edge 10 times over. "Captain," Amy said, "they're sending a message." Put it on the main screen. The face that appeared was not human. It had gray skin, yellow eyes, and sharp teeth. When it spoke, the ship's computer translated its words into English. Human vessel, you will stop your engines and prepare to be boarded. Do not try to run, or we will destroy you. Your cargo and your lives now belong to us. The alien's face disappeared from the screen. Well, Jake said quietly, that's clear enough. Tony looked at him with wide eyes. Captain, what are we going to do? Jake stood up from his chair and walked to the front window. He could see the 3 alien ships getting closer. They were sleek and deadly looking, built for war. His ship was just a rusty old cargo hauler. Lisa, how long would it take to jettison the cargo? He asked. About 15 minutes if we do it fast, she replied. But Captain, even if we give them what they want, they'll probably still take us as slaves. Jake nodded. He knew she was right. The Vextar were not known for keeping their word. Amy, can you send a distress signal? Already tried, Captain. We're too far from any human ships or stations. No one will hear us in time. Jake looked at his crew. They were good people who had trusted him to keep them safe. Now they were trapped with no way out. 3 alien warships against 1 cargo ship. It seemed hopeless, but Jake was not ready to give up yet. He had been in tough spots before. There had to be something they could do. All right, everyone, he said, turning back to his crew. We're not dead yet. Let's see what options we have. The alien ships were getting closer. Jake walked to his command chair and pressed a hidden button underneath the armrest. A small panel opened up, showing controls that were not there before. His crew watched him with confused looks. Captain, what is that? Amy asked. Jake took a deep breath. He had hoped this day would never come, but now he had no choice. There's something I need to tell you all. This ship is not what you think it is. Tony frowned. What do you mean? The Liberty's Edge is not just a cargo ship. It's a military vessel disguised to look like a cargo ship. Jake's fingers moved over the hidden controls. And none of you are really civilians. Lisa stood up quickly from her engineering station. Captain, what are you talking about? Jake looked at each of them. Lisa Rodriguez, former Lieutenant Rodriguez of the Earth Defense Engineering Course. You designed the new plasma cannon systems before you were assigned to this mission. Lisa's mouth opened in surprise. Then, slowly, her confused look changed to something else. Understanding. Operation Silent Guardian, she said quietly. That's right. Jake turned to Tony. Tony Blake, former Navy Lieutenant Commander Blake. You were one of the best tactical officers in the fleet before they put you on this assignment. Tony's tired look was gone. His back straightened and his eyes became sharp and focused. How long have we been under cover, Captain? 18 months, Jake replied. He looked at Amy. Amy Carter, former intelligence officer Carter. You know more about alien ship designs and weaknesses than almost anyone in human space. Amy nodded slowly. The scared young woman was gone. In her place sat someone who looked calm and ready for battle. The memory blocks are wearing off, she said. I remember now. Jake activated more controls. Throughout the ship, hidden panels began to open. The cargo holds were not full of mining supplies. They contained weapons, armor, and military equipment. We are the crew of the EDS Phantom, a prototype stealth cruiser. Our mission is to patrol the outer rim and protect human cargo ships from alien raiders. We've been waiting for someone like the Vextar to attack us. Lisa was already moving to a different control panel. Captain, how much can I reveal? Everything. It's time to drop the act. Jake looked at the 3 alien ships on the screen. They were much closer now. Lisa, I need you to bring the real engines online. Tony, start warming up the weapon systems. Amy, I want you to jam their communications and get ready to send our own message. The ship around them began to change. The lights became brighter, and the walls showed new displays and controls. The Liberty's Edge was shedding her disguise like a snake shedding its skin. Lisa worked at her real engineering station. Captain, the fusion reactors are coming online. I'm bringing up the military-grade shields and the stealth system. Stealth system? Tony asked as he activated weapons controls. We have a stealth system? Best one Earth ever built, Lisa said with a grin. I helped design it. The aliens have been tracking a fake signal this whole time. They don't know where we really are. Amy was busy at her station. I'm picking up their communications. They're very confident. The Vextar commander is telling his crews this will be easy. Just another weak human ship. Jake smiled for the first time since the aliens appeared. Let's show them how wrong they are. On the main screen, the 3 Vextar ships were close enough to see clearly. They were big and ugly, covered with weapons and armor. Each ship was twice the size of what the aliens thought was just a cargo vessel. Captain, Tony reported, I have weapons lock on all 3 ships. The plasma cannons are ready. The missile systems are online. Amy, what about their communications? I'm ready to jam them whenever you give the word. I can also feed false information to their targeting systems. Lisa, ship status? All systems are green, Captain. The real engines are at full power. The shields are at maximum. The armor plating is deployed. She paused. Captain, this ship is ready for war. Jake sat back in his command chair. The scared cargo ship captain was gone. In his place sat Commander Jake Morrison, one of the Earth Defense Force's best officers. He had commanded warships in 3 different conflicts with alien raiders. Here's the plan, he said. We let them get close. When they attack, we drop the stealth system and show them what they're really fighting. Lisa, I want maximum power. To weapons. Tony, target their engines first. I want them disabled, not destroyed. Amy, record everything. This message needs to get back to their people. The alien commander's face appeared on the screen again. Human vessel, you have 60 seconds to shut down your engines and prepare to be boarded. This is your final warning. Jake stood up. Amy, open a channel. Channel open, Captain. Jake looked at the alien commander. This is Captain Morrison. I have a message for you. You picked the wrong ship to attack. The alien laughed. 1 human cargo ship against 3 Vextar warships? You are either very brave or very stupid. We'll find out, Jake said. Amy, cut. The channel. The alien's face disappeared from the screen. 30 seconds until they're in weapons range. Tony reported. Jake looked at his crew. They were not the frightened civilians from a few minutes ago. They were trained military officers. And they were ready for battle. This was what they had been preparing for during their 18 months undercover. Lisa, how are the new weapon systems? The plasma cannons are something they've never seen before, Captain. Their shields won't stop them. The targeting system is perfect. I've been wanting to test these in real combat. Tony, what about their tactical formation? They're flying in a standard raiding pattern. They expect us to run or surrender. They're not ready for a real fight. Amy, what do their communications tell us? They're planning to board us and take prisoners. The commander has already decided how to split up our cargo. They think this is going to be easy. Jake nodded. 20 seconds. Everyone ready? Ready. Captain, they all said. Then let's give these aliens the surprise of their lives. The 3 Vextar ships opened fire. The alien weapons hit the Liberty's Edge with bright flashes of energy. The ship shook, but not as much as it should have. The Vextar had fired with enough power to destroy any normal cargo ship. Instead, their weapons barely scratched the hidden military armor. Shields holding at 98%, Lisa reported. Their weapons can't get through our defenses. On the main screen, Jake could see the confusion on the alien ships. They had expected their first attack to cripple or destroy the human vessel. Instead, it was still flying and seemed undamaged. Now, Jake ordered. Lisa pressed a series of controls. All around the ship, fake hull panels fell away like pieces of old skin. Underneath was the real hull of a military warship, the Liberties. Edge grew larger as hidden weapon ports opened and advanced sensors came online. Stealth system deactivated, Amy reported. They can see us for what we really are now. The 3 Vextar ships suddenly seemed much smaller. What they thought was a helpless cargo ship was actually a sleek military cruiser bristling with weapons. Tony, fire when ready, Jake commanded. The first plasma cannon shot lit up space like a small sun. The beam hit the lead Vextar ship's shields and went right through them as if they were made of paper. The alien ship's armor melted where the beam touched it. Direct hit on their main weapons array, Tony reported. Their biggest guns are gone. The aliens tried to return fire, but Amy had already jammed their targeting systems. Their shots went wide, missing the human ship completely. Lisa, give me full power to engines. Tony, target the second ship. The ED's Phantom moved like no cargo ship ever could. It was fast and agile, dancing between the alien ships like a fighter instead of a heavy cruiser. Lisa's engineering improvements had made it even better than the original design. The second plasma cannon shot took out the second Vextar ship's engines. The alien vessel went dark and began drifting helplessly through space. 2 ships down, Tony said. The third one is trying to run. Amy, what are you hearing from their communications? Panic, Captain. They're calling for help and trying to figure out what just happened. The commander is screaming at his crew. Jake watched the third alien ship turn away and start to flee. Tony, disable their engines, but don't destroy them. I want them alive. Yes, sir. The third plasma cannon shot was perfect. It hit the fleeing ship's engine section and left it drifting like the second ship. All 3 Vextar vessels are now helpless. Excellent shooting, Jake said. Amy, are you recording all of this? Every second, Captain. The whole battle is on file. Jake looked at the 3 disabled alien ships on his screen. A few minutes ago, they had been confident predators attacking what they thought was easy prey. Now they were the helpless ones. Lisa, damage report. No damage to report, Captain. Their weapons never got through our shields. All systems are running perfectly. Tony, how long did that battle take? Tony checked his instruments. 4 minutes and 37 seconds from first shot to last shot. Jake nodded. 3 alien warships defeated in less than 5 minutes. The Vextar had learned a hard lesson about attacking human ships. Captain, Amy said, I'm picking up communications from the disabled ships. They're asking us not to kill them. Open a channel to the command ship. The alien commander appeared on the screen again. His confident expression was gone. He looked shocked and frightened. There was smoke behind him, and Jake could see crew members running around trying to fix damage. Human ship, the alien said. We surrender. Please do not destroy us. Jake stood up. I am Commander Morrison of the Earth Defense Ship Phantom. You attacked us thinking we were a helpless cargo vessel. You were wrong. The alien commander stared at him. You are military. This was a trap. Not a trap. We were doing our job, protecting human space from raiders like you. You just happened to pick the wrong target. Our ships are disabled. We cannot fight back. What do you want? Jake smiled. I want you to listen very carefully. The days of easy human targets are over. Every cargo ship you see might be a disguised warship like mine. Every trade route is now protected. The alien's yellow eyes went wide. How many ships like yours do humans have? Enough, Jake said. Your people have been attacking human vessels for years, taking our cargo, enslaving our people. That ends now. What? What happens to us? Jake looked at his crew. Lisa was monitoring the alien ships to make sure they couldn't repair their weapons. Tony was keeping the plasma cannons targeted on all 3 vessels. Amy was recording everything for the official report. You're going to take a message back to your people, Jake said. Tell them that humans are no longer easy prey. We've been watching you, learning about you, preparing for you. Every raid you've made has been recorded. Every ship you've attacked has been noted. You want us to leave? I want you to go home. But first, your ships will be searched. Any human prisoners you have will be released. Any stolen human cargo will be returned. The alien commander looked nervous. We have no prisoners on these ships. Amy, scan their ships. Amy worked at her controls. Captain, I'm detecting human life signs on the command ship. At least 6 people. Jake's expression hardened. You lied to me. That was a mistake. Please, Commander Morrison. We will release them immediately. You will. Lisa, prepare a boarding party. We're going over there. Captain, Tony said, what if this is a trick? What if they're planning to? Attack us when we board? Jake looked at the 3 disabled ships. With what? Their engines are dead, their weapons are destroyed, and their shields are down. They're not attacking anyone. He turned back to the alien commander. You have 10 minutes to release all human prisoners and prepare to be boarded. If you try anything hostile, we will destroy all 3 ships. The alien nodded quickly. Yes, Commander, we understand. Amy, cut the channel. Lisa stood up from her engineering station. Captain, boarding party is ready. Full combat gear and heavy weapons. Good. Tony, keep those plasma cannons trained on them. If they so much as power up a light bulb without permission, you have my authorization to fire. Yes, sir. Jake looked at the 3 alien ships floating helplessly in space. The hunters had become the hunted. The predators had become the prey. This was exactly what the EDS Phantom had been built for. Amy, make sure you get good recordings of everything we find on that ship. This information needs to get back to Earth Defense Command. Already on it, Captain. Jake headed for the airlock. It was time to pay the aliens a visit. Jake put on his military combat suit and checked his weapons. Lisa and Amy did the same. Tony stayed on the bridge to watch the alien ships and keep the weapons ready. Remember, Jake told his boarding team, we're not just here to rescue prisoners. We need to gather intelligence about Vexstar operations. Amy, I want you to download their computer files. Lisa, check their weapons and engines. I want to know everything about their technology. Yes, sir, they both replied. The small shuttle bay doors opened, and Jake's team flew across the empty space between the ships. The Vexstar command vessel was much larger up close. It was an ugly thing, built for war and raiding. Scorch marks from the plasma cannon attack covered one side. They docked with the alien ship's airlock. Jake could hear the aliens talking inside, but Amy's translation device made their words clear. The humans are coming aboard, one alien voice said. What do we do? Nothing, replied another voice. Jake recognized it as the commander. We do exactly what they say. Their weapons are too powerful. We cannot fight them. The airlock opened, and Jake stepped onto the alien ship. The air smelled bad, like chemicals and rot. The walls were covered with strange symbols and blinking lights. 6 Vexstar aliens waited in the corridor. They were all tall and thin, with gray skin and yellow eyes. They held no weapons and kept their hands where Jake could see them. Where are the human prisoners? Jake asked. The alien commander pointed down the corridor. This way. They are unharmed. Jake followed the aliens through the ship. The inside was dark and cramped. Everything looked old and poorly maintained. This was not a modern warship. It was an old raider vessel, probably stolen from someone else. They reached a heavy door with electronic locks. The alien commander opened it, and Jake saw 6 humans inside a small prison cell. They were all alive, but they looked scared and tired. "Are you all right?" Jake asked them. A woman in her 40s stepped forward. "We're okay. They captured us 3 days ago when they attacked our mining ship. Are you here to rescue us?" "Yes. I'm Commander Morrison of the Earth Defense Force. You're safe now." The rescued humans looked amazed. "Earth Defense Force? We thought you were just a cargo ship." "That was the idea," Jake said. "Lisa, get these people back to our ship. Make sure they get medical attention." "Yes, sir." While Lisa escorted the prisoners to safety, Jake and Amy explored the alien ship. Amy connected her computer to the alien systems and began downloading files. "Captain, I'm getting their navigation logs," Amy reported. "These ships have attacked 17 human vessels. In the past 6 months, they've taken over 200 prisoners." Jake felt anger rising in his chest. 200 human beings stolen from their families and sold as slaves. What else? They have a base of operations in the Rigel system. It's a hidden station where they take their prisoners and stolen cargo. There are at least 12 more ships like these operating from the same base. Keep downloading. I want everything. Jake found the alien commander in the ship's bridge. The creature was sitting in his command chair, looking defeated. "Tell me about your base," Jake said. "I cannot," the alien replied. "They will kill me if I betray the location. They'll kill you anyway when you return with news of this defeat. But if you help me, I can offer you protection." The alien thought about this. "What kind of protection?" "Safe passage to neutral space. A chance to start over somewhere else, but only if you give me useful information." The alien commander looked around his damaged bridge. His ship was helpless, his weapons were destroyed, and his crew was frightened. He had no good choices left. The base is in the asteroid belt around Rigel 7. It is hidden inside a large asteroid. There are 15 ships total, but only 12 are operational. The others are being repaired. How many prisoners do you have? There? Maybe 400 humans, maybe more. They are kept in holding cells until buyers can be found. Jake's jaw tightened. 400 human slaves. What kind of defenses does the base have? Energy shields, plasma cannons, fighter ships. It is well protected. Not well enough, Jake said quietly. Amy appeared at his shoulder. "Captain, I've got everything I can from their computers. This ship has detailed information about Vexstar raiding operations across 3-star systems. Good work. Anything else interesting?" "Yes, sir. They've been tracking human cargo ships for months. They know the routes, the schedules, everything. Someone has been feeding them information." Jake frowned. "Someone human? It looks that way. The data is too detailed to come from random observation." This was worse than Jake had thought. Not only were the aliens raiding human ships, but they had help from inside human space. "Download everything and get back to our ship. We need to report this to Earth Defense Command immediately." "What about the aliens, Captain?" Jake looked at the defeated alien commander. "You're going to take a message to your people. Tell them that their raiding days are over. Every attack on human ships will be met with overwhelming force. You are releasing us? I'm giving you one chance to do the right thing. Go back to your base. Tell them what happened here. Tell them that humans are no longer easy targets." The alien commander stared at him. "Why are you letting us live?" "Because I want your people to hear this message. Dead aliens can't deliver warnings." Jake turned to leave, then stopped. "One more thing. Those 400 human prisoners at your base. You have 1 week to release them all. If you don't, we'll come and take them. You cannot attack our base. It is too well defended. Jake smiled. You thought 3 warships were enough to defeat 1 cargo ship. How did that work out for you? The alien had no answer. Jake and Amy returned to their ship. Tony was still watching from the bridge, keeping the weapons trained on the alien vessels. How did it go, Captain? Tony asked. Better than expected. We rescued 6 prisoners and got intelligence about their entire operation. Lisa, can you repair their engines? Lisa looked surprised. Captain, you want to fix their ships? Just enough to get them home. I want them to deliver our message. I can do basic repairs. Get their engines working, but not their weapons. Perfect. Amy, prepare a full report for Earth Defense Command. Include everything we learned about their base and their human contact. Yes, sir. Jake sat in his command chair and looked at the alien ships. In a few hours, they would limp back to their base with news of their defeat. Other Vexstar raiders would hear the story. Word would spread that humans were no longer helpless victims. But this was just the beginning. There were still 400 human prisoners to rescue and a hidden base to destroy. The real battle was yet to come. Tony, set course for Earth. We need to report this and get reinforcements. Yes, sir. Course laid in. The IDS Phantom turned away from the disabled alien ships and headed for home. Behind them, the Vexstar began. The long journey back to their base, carrying a message that would change everything. 2 weeks later, Jake stood on the bridge of the IDS Phantom, but he was not alone. 5 other ships flew beside his vessel, all heading toward the Rigel system. Earth Defense Command had listened to his report and decided to act fast. Captain Morrison, came a voice over the radio. This is Admiral Carter on the EDS Washington. Are you ready to begin the operation? Jake pressed the communication button. Ready, Admiral. All systems are green. The small fleet consisted of 6 ships, all disguised as cargo vessels, but actually military cruisers like the Phantom. Each ship had a crew of experienced officers and the latest weapons technology. Lisa, how are our new upgrades? Jake asked. Lisa grinned from her engineering station. The plasma cannons are even more powerful than before. The new shield system can stop anything the Vexstar have. And Captain, you're going to love the surprise I built into the missile system. Tony, what do our sensors show? Tony studied his. Displays. The asteroid base is exactly where the alien commander said it would be. I'm counting 15 ships docked to it, just like he told us. The base has heavy shields and weapons, but nothing we can't handle. Amy, any communications from the base? Amy shook her head. They're maintaining radio silence. But Captain, I'm picking up human life signs inside the asteroid. Lots of them. Jake nodded. The 400 human prisoners were still alive. That was the most important thing. Admiral Carter, Jake said into his radio, we have visual confirmation of the target. All prisoner life signs are positive. Understood, Captain Morrison. Begin the attack when ready. Jake looked at his crew. They had trained for this mission for 2 weeks, practicing the assault plan until they could do it in their sleep. Lisa had upgraded all their weapons. Tony had studied the base's defenses. Amy had learned everything about Vexstar communication systems. All right, everyone, this is what we came here for. 400 human beings are counting on us. The 6 human ships dropped their disguises at the same time. Fake hull panels fell away, revealing sleek military vessels bristling with weapons. The Phantom and her sister ships moved toward the asteroid base in perfect formation. The Vexstar base reacted quickly. Alarms began sounding, and the asteroid's weapons came online. Energy shields covered the base like a glowing bubble. Incoming transmission from the base, Amy reported. They're demanding that we identify ourselves and leave immediately. Let me talk to them, Jake said. Open a channel. The face that appeared on the screen was another Vexstar commander. This one looked older and more experienced than the one Jake had fought before. Human ships, you are trespassing in Vexstar territory. Leave now or be destroyed. Jake stood up. This is Commander Morrison of the Earth Defense Force. You are holding 400 human prisoners. Release them immediately and surrender your base. The alien commander laughed. 6 cargo ships against our fortress? You humans are even more foolish than we thought. These aren't cargo ships, Jake said calmly. Would you like a demonstration? You cannot threaten us. Our base is too well defended. Jake turned to Tony. Target their main shield generator. Target. Locked, Captain. Fire. The plasma cannon beam was brighter and more powerful than the ones Jake had used 2 weeks before. It hit the asteroid base's shields and punched right through them like they were made of soap. The beam carved a deep hole in the asteroid's surface. The alien commander's confident expression changed to shock. That's impossible. Our shields can stop any weapon. Not human weapons, Jake replied. You have 60 seconds to surrender and release all prisoners. If you refuse, we will destroy your base piece by piece. Behind the alien commander, Jake could see other Vexstar running around in panic. Alarms were still sounding, and smoke was filling the command center. You. You cannot attack us. We have 15 warships. Had 15 warships, Jake corrected. Amy, show him what happened to his fleet. On the screen, a recording began to play. It showed the other 5 human ships destroying the Vexstar vessels docked to the asteroid. Lisa's new weapons cut through alien armor like it was paper. In less than 3 minutes, all 15 enemy ships were either destroyed or helpless. Your fleet is gone, Jake said. Your shields are down. Your base is defenseless. Surrender now, and your people will be allowed to live. The alien commander looked around his damaged command center. His officers were staring at him, waiting for orders. Everyone knew they had lost. What? What do you want? The alien asked finally. First, release all human prisoners immediately. Second, give us all records of your raiding operations. Third, tell us who your human contact is. Human contact? Someone in human space has been giving you information about our cargo ships. We want to know who. The alien commander hesitated. Jake could see he was afraid to give up this information. Tony, target their prison section. Captain, there are human prisoners in that area, Tony said quietly. I know, but if they don't cooperate, those prisoners will die anyway when we destroy the base. Jake looked back at the alien commander. You have 10 seconds to decide. Wait, the alien said. I will give you what you want. The prisoners will be released. But the human contact, he will kill me if I reveal his name. He's not your biggest worry right now, Jake said. I am. The alien commander sagged in his chair. His name is Robert Shaw. He works for the Mars Trading Company. He has been selling us information about cargo ship routes and schedules. Amy was already recording everything. This would be valuable intelligence for Earth Defense Command. Thank you for your cooperation, Jake said. Now release the prisoners. Over the next hour, Jake watched as 400 human beings were brought out of the asteroid base. They had been prisoners for weeks or months, and many were sick and frightened. But they were alive, and they were free. Lisa organized medical teams to help the rescued prisoners. Tony coordinated with the other ships to make sure everyone was safely evacuated. Amy collected all the data from the alien computers. Captain, Amy reported, I've downloaded their entire database. This includes records of every raid they've conducted, every ship they've attacked, and every prisoner they've taken over the past 5 years. Jake nodded. Good work. What about the human trader? Robert Shaw has been feeding them information for 2 years. He's made a lot of money selling out his own people. Earth Defense Command will want to have a talk with Mr. Shaw, Jake said. Grimly, the evacuation was complete. All 400 human prisoners were now safe aboard the rescue ships. The Vextar base was empty, except for the alien crew. Admiral Carter, Jake said into his radio, all prisoners have been rescued. What are your orders regarding the base? Destroy it, Captain Morrison. We can't let them use it again. Jake turned to his crew. You heard the Admiral. Tony, target. The base's main reactor. Target locked, Captain. Fire. The plasma cannon beam struck the asteroid base's power core. There was a brilliant flash of light, and then the entire asteroid exploded into millions of pieces. The Vextar raiding base was gone forever. Base destroyed, Admiral, Jake reported. Excellent. Work, Captain. Set course for Earth. We have prisoners to return to their families. As the small fleet turned toward home, Jake sat in his command chair and thought about what they had accomplished. The Vextar raiding operation in this sector was finished. 400 people were free. And most importantly, word would spread throughout alien space that humans were no longer easy targets. Captain, Lisa said, I'm getting reports from other patrol ships. 3 more disguised raider vessels have been detected and destroyed in the past week. Operation Silent Guardian is working. Jake smiled. The plan was simple but effective. Hide military ships as cargo vessels and wait for aliens to attack them. When they did, they would learn that humans were much more dangerous than they looked. Amy, what are the aliens saying about us? Amy listened to alien communication channels. They're scared, Captain. Word is spreading fast about what happened here and at our first battle. Some alien groups are already avoiding human space completely. Good. That's exactly what we wanted. Tony looked up from his navigation station. Captain, we'll reach Earth in 4 days. The prisoners will be home soon. Jake thought about the families who would be reunited, the people who had given up hope of ever seeing their loved ones again. This was why he had joined the military. This was why the Earth Defense Force existed. Lisa, how many more ships like the Phantom are being built? At least 50, Captain. By next year, every major trade route will be protected by disguised military vessels. The aliens won't know which ships are real cargo vessels and which ones are warships. And eventually, they'll stop attacking altogether, Amy added. Why risk attacking a cargo ship when it might turn out to be a heavily armed cruiser? Jake nodded. This was the end of an era. For years, alien raiders had preyed on human ships, taking cargo and slaves with little resistance. Those days were over. Humans had shown that they could fight back, and fight back hard. Captain, Tony said suddenly, I'm picking up a transmission. It's from a Vextar ship, but they're requesting permission to talk. Put it on screen. The alien that appeared was different from the others Jake had seen. This one was older, with scars on his face and a more intelligent look in his yellow eyes. Human Commander, the alien said. I am Fleet Commander Vexcall of the Vextar Consortium. I wish to SP